Right.
We have 15 minutes left. There's Leo Miles.
He's the athletic
at Howard
director.
University, right?
Right, at Howard University.
The linesman. Jerry Seaman, who's from the Twin City areas. Bill O'Brien out there, who's from Edwardsville, Illinois. First down. Washington. Still trying to get on the board. This is Kenny Harrison. And Harrison to the 30-yard line. Roynell Young defending on the play. See where the Giants have scored again. A 25-yard field goal by Joe Danella, giving them a 10-point lead as the Giants are maybe coming alive. You know, we want to keep pointing this up. Harold Carmichael still hasn't caught a pass today as we start this fourth quarter of play. We'll watch that very closely for you. There's the stats on Joe Theismann. 3 interceptions, but I'll tell you what, he has played a very courageous football game today. Theismann to Thompson. He had it for a moment. Herman Edwards was there. Pretty good shot that time. Also covering on the play, Bill Berge. Berge already has 1 interception this year. You know, the thing that Dick Vermeil said about Bill Berge, he said he's come back from the knee, but he thinks next year he'll be a better football player than he is this year.
And I agree with that. The first year back after a major surgery, the players are never as good as they were or as good as they will be, because it's quite an adjustment period. This year is an adjustment year for Bill Berge, and Dick thinks that he'll be better next year.
The Skins 3 of 11 on third down conversions, 3rd and 2. Broken up. It looks like LeMaster was the man that had a hand on the ball that was headed to Kenny Harrison for a first down. I tell you, those linebackers really get back. They get drops in a hurry in pass situations.
They do, and of course the fact that there are 4 of them, that's one of the advantages of the 3-4. They don't really get the rush that they would want, although on the long yardage situations they'll go to a 4-man line. But the 3-4, that extra man, that extra linebacker is another middle linebacker. So instead of having 1 middle linebacker, you have 2 middle linebackers.
4th down, they're going to go for it. On 4th and 2. Theismann headed for Warren, and Jerry Robinson, had he held on to that, there was nobody between him and the goal line. He had 1 touchdown. Why not another one?
Well, that's what he said. He said he already has 1. You don't want to score too many in one day.
So on downs, Philadelphia takes over. They have it at their own 30.
Introducing the revolutionary twin action shaving system engineered to outperform twin blades. The new Norelco Rotatract razor. Inside 3 floating heads, Rotatract works like twin blades to grip hair. Raise it up, then razor it off, hundreds of times a second for a shave that's twin blade close without a nick or cut. The new twin action Norelco Rotatract razor, cord and rechargeable. Twin blade closeness, but no gotcha.
Need your help. Is it me or my 1981 Toyota Corolla? Watch. See what I mean? I know Corolla looks like a million, got plenty of style, not to mention a peppy 1.8-liter engine. But I ask you, is it me or my Toyota Corolla?
Give me a ride to the library?
Tell me, was it me or my Toyota Corolla?
Oh, what a feeling! Your Corolla!
Toyota!
We have 14:39 left in this game. Philadelphia with a 24-0 lead on their way to their 7th straight win, but they still haven't completed a pass to Harold Carmichael, who is lined up tight at the top of the offensive line. Jaworski. Let's see if he looks to Carmichael. He was looking to him, but he's going to run. Jaworski has a first down as he dives out of bounds. But that was definitely where he was looking, was for number 17. And John, if there's one thing the Redskins would like to salvage, is that is shutting out Carmichael. He is really being shadowed out there.
he has drawn the crowd all day. They have split him out. They have put 2 wide receivers on the same side. This time they brought him in tight like a tight end, figuring that he could run a pattern to get away from a double. That play, he was really triple. He had the linebacker initially, then he had the corner, Joe Lavender, and then right at the end there, we saw number 25, the weak safety, Mark Murphy, pick him up.
Jaworski with that run now has 11 yards and 2 carries. It was a first down. He's also hit 7 of 16 for 96 yards. On a first down. Jaworski, Carmichael, he's got it. So the string continues. Joe Lavender, his former teammate, had hounded him all day. Carmichael now has caught at least 1 pass in 123 straight.
And we see Leroy Harris coming over there to shake his hand. But again, it was a double. You see Dusek starts on him. Linebacker, he's on him. He comes out. Joe Lavender's right there. It's just a little hook. Now, I think Dusek probably was supposed to be on him and give him a push. Brad Dusek on the line, or a hit or a bump. He didn't do that. Carmichael came off the line. He was working one-on-one on Joe Lavender and caught a little hook pass. And I think we're going to see a change of quarterback the next time the Redskins get the ball.
Mike Cruz, who caught, or should say, has thrown only 2 passes this year. Here's Leroy Harris on the first down. You know what I liked about that Carmichael thing? They didn't throw a little screen or a little flare, but instead went straight up the field to keep that string going.
Right, and I bet they're all glad to get that over with. I know Harold Carmichael sure is. It's something that he tries not to think of, but how can you not think about it? It's something that probably pressure as much on Ron Jaworski as anyone else. The coaches calling the plays, the Sid Gilman, Dick Vermeil, and so on. And I'm sure that collectively the Eagles are glad right now that that's over with and they can just finish out this 4th quarter the way they'd like to.
I don't know how you'd ever shut him out. Here's Jaworski to Giamono. Giamono with a lot of running room. Walters blocking ahead of him. He almost had his head taken off, but he has a first down as he bounces across the 35. Rich Malott over there. Boy, he's getting up slowly as he should. He took a shot around his head from Malott, but stayed on his feet for a couple more yards. He's going out of there now.
He gets a little breather now, but they ought to give this little guy 2 or 3 pregame meals. For the work that he does, he ought to get a pregame meal for all the special teams. He ought to get a pregame meal for all the carrying he does and for all the blocking he does, and just playing as long as he does. That's 4 pregame meals.
They gave him some smelling salts there, I think. He really got hit on that last play. Billy Joe, one of the coaches over there with him. Billy Camfield has replaced him. First down at the 32 of Washington. 12 minutes left in this game. Jaworski with Bacon from the blind side hits Camfield, and a fine tackle by Brad Dusek. Dusek is a man who's had some injury problems. He's had a hamstring that's bothered him for about 8 weeks of the season. The Cardinals still leading the Cowboys. Boy, if Dallas would lose that one, that would put them 3 games behind the Eagles in this Eastern Division.
And I'll tell you, the Eagles are watching that game very closely. Maybe not the players on the field, but I know Leonard Toews, the owner, is. They say that last week when the Cowboys lost, that he was very jubilant, that he had a lot of interest, and he not only knew they lost, but he even knew the score.
Saw him here today. I'm sure he's enjoying this game. Atlanta now leads New Orleans 24-7. Bartkowski hit Junior Miller, 10-yard touchdown pass. Boy, Atlanta is really rolling.
There's one of the most impressive teams in the NFL this year.
Now we have a 31-7 score on that game. Jaworski back, Kreftley behind him, and broken up by Tony Peters. And Jaworski was down by Perry Brooks back at the 50-yard line. There's that score, 31-7. Atlanta, they would be 8-3. The Rams were losing, and that would give Atlanta a 2-game lead in that NFC West.
What a surprise. Although we saw them in their 2nd game against the New England Patriots, and when people ask me the best team that I've seen this year, I say the Atlanta Falcons, the 2nd game of the season in New England against the Patriots.
How would you compare them with Philadelphia?
On that day, I think they were better. But now I have a lot of respect for Philadelphia. I'm not one of those people that don't respect Philadelphia. I really do. But I'm saying that day, that was the best team that I've seen. Although we've seen this team, and they're very, very impressive.
Third down, 15 yards to go. Rodney Parker has come in. The bottom of your screen split out. Jaworski's going to him. There is Parker with the catch. His second of the day, his third of the year. Inside the 25-yard line. Now Darius White defending on the play.
Right now the Eagles have gone back to that original game plan, and it's something that they've done all day, is they have put Carmichael and Charles Smith on the same side in a slot, and then they have worked the other side. Is that a final? No. Rams 17, Patriots 14. But anyway, they put those two guys on the slot, and then they've worked the other side, passing to the tight ends, passing to the third receiver, Rodney Parker, but also running to the side away from the slot where Carmichael is getting the double coverage. Does that make sense?
I think I figured all of that. You want to repeat it all?
Thank you.
Be sure
No,
I got it?
It didn't make any sense. I can't remember it. But that's what's happening. That's what they've been doing.
Fourth down, 4th and 2, and flags everywhere. They get that play off in time?
No, they were all moving, jumping.
Here we go.
False start, number 84. Offense.
That's Keith Kreppley. And so now they will have to kick it after the penalty.
Did you see as he walked by there, he still had that tape on there that's keeping that knee pad in so he can play.
They have to ask Mr. Toast to get him a new uniform.
After this game, he'll be happy enough to. He's
We're going to have
class
a field
guy.
goal attempt, as Franklin already has kicked one in this game of 38 yards, his 11th. And Franklin out there, he's going to have to wait a while. That toe's going to get cold.
I know it. That whole foot, see that sock is getting shorter.
Number 84. Offense.
David Fox, our producer, giving us a few lines from the truck, but you can ignore him, can't you?
Oh, he said he ought to put mustard on it.
Thanks a lot. This will be a 46-yard attempt. His longest is 41 this year, so this would be his longest of the year. He tried a 60-yarder earlier in the year, and that was not far from making it. It was very close.
This is well within his range.
From 46 yards, Shira to hold. Tony Franklin, he has enough distance, and it is no good. So Franklin trying to add to the advantage. He now is 11 of 18 for this 1980 season. We have 10 minutes left in the game.
We want to make you smile.
Welcome back. I see you brought a friend.
My boss hasn't smiled the whole trip. My back.
I think you'll like our beds.
Make you smile.
Big room.
Everything all right?
Just fine. Call me for dinner in an hour.
We made him smile.
Come to Holiday Inn where your smile says you're number one people pleasing.
Come, drive in the fourth dimension. Experience the four-wheel drive edge of the American Eagle. Feel how four wheels bite into bone-dry pavement, slice through rain, eat up snow. The American Eagle takes your family with confidence where it's never been before. And introducing an all-new high gas mileage Eagle with a list price of only $59.95. Experience driving in the fourth dimension with the American Eagles from American Motors.
Well, this field goal, I didn't pick it up the first time, but it hit the upright, didn't it?
Right, he was on the hash mark, and it came straight ahead, right down the hash mark, and we're going to see right there where it hits, boom, no good.
Boy, if you wanted to hit that, you couldn't have in 100 tries.
No. And it was straight as an arrow because the hash mark runs on a line right with the goal post.
And here is the new quarterback, Mike Krusek, has thrown 2 passes. He's completed both of them for 14 yards. They picked him up from Pittsburgh this year. He starts out, tries to hit Buddy Hardiman, and the saga of dropped footballs continues. This young man went to high school here in the Washington area, and he was very, very happy to be traded here. This is a place he wanted to go. He said many, many times that he didn't want to be a number 2 quarterback all his life, as he was a backup for 4 years behind Terry Bradshaw. Look at that in the third quarter. The Cowboys still trailing St. Louis. I've been told that Krusek went to St. John's High School in the D.C. area. He grew up in the Virginia area. Give to Buddy Hardiman. Hardiman may have gotten 2 yards, and that's all to the 32. Whistle still being blown out there. A little discussion. Somebody's unhappy. Pushing and shoving. Looks like Ron Saul might have been one of those.
Looks like he and Bigfoot, Dennis Harrison, were having a little discussion.
Third down, 7 yards to go. Ricky Thompson, Kenny Harrison, and Art Monk. 3 wide receivers are in as Don Warren comes out of the ball game. Well, Krusick getting some playing time. Out of Boston College, he was a 4th-round draft pick of the Steelers in 1976. Most of his playing time came his rookie year when Bradshaw was hurt. Krusick. Art Monk. And Monk's forward progress is going to be marked at about the 37-yard line. Boy, they're having to get on those whistles pretty hot and heavy right now. Nobody wants to quit out there. Herman Edwards defending on the play. Let's look at this catch again.
We'll see it again here, and we'll know that, you know, one thing that the Eagle defense does, and I think we'll see an example here. It's late in the game, but they still swarm. They're a swarming defense. They have the coverage there. What? There's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 coming into the picture. Now, when the ball is completed or the ball goes someplace, they have instinct to all get there or want to get there.
They were 2 yards short of the first down, so Connell will kick. Shira back at his own 25-yard line. 8:20 left in this game. Shira from the 30, 35. Oh, a flag thrown. There's a picture tackle made at the 35-yard line. That was Ike Forte that made that stop. Boy, one thing about Shira you notice on his punt returns, John, is he really makes that shortest distance between 2 points stand out, doesn't he? He just cuts right up the field and goes after it. Well,
that's what he has to do. As you say, he's not the type who's going to break it away for a long run. He doesn't have that type of speed. But he does have 2 things. One is he has sure hands. He's going to catch the ball. And when you're in a game, that's the most important thing. And then 2, he's going to take it straight up the field.
Personal foul. Flipping. Personal foul. Also 2 penalties.
You're in sync with the referee. You know, as he does it, you two have a nice thing going together.
Well, I tell you what, I've listened to you talk about these guys, the Zebras, for so long, I feel like I know them now. And I must say that you've said some very nice things about them. Not a lot, but a few things.
Personal foul, clipping, number 27, receiving team. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 51, receiving team. That penalty will be declined.
Reggie Wilkes is number 51. As we now have a timeout with 8:11 left in this game. The Eagles winning their 7th in a row here.
By now, almost everybody's heard about the incredible Black & Decker Workmate. About how it makes almost any hard job a lot easier. Like planing, hammering, sawing, almost anything. But what most people don't know about the incredible Workmate is now you can get a single hack model for as little as $45.
Wow.
That's right. A Black & Decker Workmate for about $45. That's really incredible.
I looked at Datsun 280ZX and Porsche 924 because I wanted a refined sports car. Then I looked at and drove this new Mazda RX-7, and that's all it took.
Just one look. That's all it took. Yeah, just one look. That's all it took.
The Mazda RX-7 keeps getting better. Even the mileage is 24% better than last year. And the more I looked, the more I liked the looks of its price.
The more you look, the more you like.
Tonight on CBS starts with 60 Minutes. Then on Archie Bunker's Place, Archie meets his match when he hires a housekeeper. It's all tonight, right here on CBS.
Archie's hiring a housekeeper now. The last time he was trying to move.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, oh yeah. Now I keep up with those.
I noticed that. You are a very well-informed person. For a guy that used to spend so many hours in the film projection room and with the chalk in your hand up at the blackboard, You've kept your interest wide and varied.
Since I've retired, I've learned to relax.
I noticed that. From the 17-yard line now. First down. 8:11 left in this game. Eagles with a 24-0 lead. Hogan and Campfield, the running backs. Here's Billy Campfield, and Campfield out to the 20-yard line. There is Lynn Stiles. Now he is the man that will signal the play in after it's been sent through the headset of Dick Vermeil. Now, when's he going to do it?
Right now. See, Dick is telling Lynn Stiles to play right now. Lynn Stiles has it. He's giving the signal. And that signal, part of that signal is the formation, and then the play and the blocking. So it's a three-part thing: formation to get in, and the running play, and then how to block it.
And then you got to play it. Ready to go. Got to remember all that and execute. Second down, 6.
And eventually.
Little delay to Hogan, and Hogan to about the 23-yard line area. Carl Lorch, Tony Peters, the Falcons, 31-13. Nobody would have ever convinced me that the Saints would be, as they lose today, 0-11. We had them in the preseason. Remember that against Houston?
And I think they've gone downhill ever since that game. That was the second game of the preseason. They played very well, and I think they've gotten progressively worse every game.
Bobby Scott hit Tony Galbraith in that game for a 3-yard touchdown pass to get on the board again. That's in the fourth quarter with 1:12 left in that one. Third down, 4 yards to go. Rodney Parker is in now to wide receiver. Carmichael at the bottom of the screen. Jaworski to Campfield. He made the catch for the first down. Are you surprised that Philadelphia hasn't made a change of quarterback?
I'm surprised at that. Yes, I am, because I think they have the 2 quarterbacks that they would like to get some time. Joe Pisarcik. I don't know about Rob Hurdle, whether they'd like to get him in, but I'm sure they would like to get Joe some playing time. And I see him. He's warming up down in the sideline now, and I think if he doesn't go in on this drive, he'll probably go in the next drive.
You saw that Cleveland score. Pittsburgh scored on a safety when Cleveland's punter Johnny Evans was tackled in the end zone. We understand it was an intentional safety. Pittsburgh loses that one. That might do it to them. That'd be 5 losses.
Yes, that probably would do it.
From the 32, first down. Campfield and Hogan to the backfield. Here comes Billy Campfield. And his forward progress to the 35. In this ball game now, this will surprise you a little bit, John, or at least it does me. The Redskins have 250 yards in offense. The Eagles 248.
That's surprising, but the thing with the problem with the Redskin offense is they just don't have any consistency. They haven't been able to put things together. They would get a good play and then they would have a penalty. Then they would get a good play and then they would get a sack. And they haven't been consistent. And the other thing is those statistics are about the same, but the big one is turnovers. They've had 5 turnovers, and that will kill you every time.
From the 35, second down, 7 yards to go, and end around reverse to Charles Smith. Smith out to the 40, and Smith to the 45-yard line, and that's a first down. Monty Coleman made the stop. We have a man shaken up for the Washington Redskins, Lamar Parrish. There he is. Boy, I hope he's all right. He started to walk for a while, and he fell down. And so Parrish, they'll look him over. An end around reverse, you're leading 24-0.
And I think one of the blocks on that play was made by Ron Jaworski. As we'll see it again here. Let's see what the quarterback does, Ron Jaworski. Now watch him. He's there, number 7. See him start to lead? And look, he has the block, the scramble type block.
Monty Coleman is the man he was trying to block.
Here's another Radio Shack Christmas gift collection. 14 exciting new electronic games priced from $12.95 to $39.95. Fast action games with electronic sound effects. There's football, basketball, baseball, golf, shooting gallery, and more. Challenging entertainment for kids 6 to 60. Play alone or with a friend for hours of fascinating fun. The big electronic game assortment, available only at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
I do the Continental to ensure my accidental.
We do the Continental to ensure our residential.
I do the Continental to ensure my developmental. They can insure all I have to insure.
I do the Continental to ensure my instrumental.
I do the Continental to ensure my Continental.
Join the over 4 million satisfied Continental Insurance policyholders.
Do the Continental.
Lamar Parrish, who was able to pick off his 5th pass of the year going off the field, left leg. Philadelphia has a new quarterback, Joe Pisarcik, coming in. Here's the man who came in relief of Ron Jaworski in the Chicago game and played so well. As Dick Vermeil said, he wasn't surprised. All he needed was some protection. He didn't get that in New York in his offensive line. This is Mike Hogan. Hogan hit by Coy Bacon as his forward progress to the 45. Jaworski, for the day, had 10 of 21, 124 yards, 1 interception, 2 touchdowns. That is a final. Buffalo over Cincinnati. And of course, they're very interested in that New England game against Los Angeles.
There's another surprising team, the Buffalo Bills, but Ron Jaworski really had a good day. He did everything. He ran the club well. He passed the ball well. He ran well a couple times himself. And then on his final play, he made a block that got a first down, and he said, that's enough. I've done it all. Get me out of here.
2nd down 9, a gain of 1. Pisarcik steps up very well, and he has Rodney Parker. Parker is hit immediately by Jarris White. I like the way Pisarcik that time anticipated the pressure from both defensive ends and stepped up to get time to throw the football.
Right, his tackles did a nice job. They can do that. Stan Walters, Jerry Sizemore, they brought him up the field. We see the signal here again from Lynn Stiles. See, that's a 3 thing, and we'll see if Joe Pisarcik knows those signals as well as Ron Jaworski did. But the big thing, the reason he was able to step up is the guards did a good job of not allowing any penetration in the middle.
About 2 minutes left in this game with the Giants trying to win their 2nd in a row. First down at the 36-yard line. Pisarcik off to Billy Campfield. Look at him break tackles to the 30-yard line. Billy Campfield, one of the most impressive guys physically you'll ever look at, but he's been kind of nicked and battered this year. He had a lot of injury problems. A little over 2 minutes left in this one. The Rams leading the Patriots, and the Patriots could lose 2 in a row after that tough loss Monday night against Houston.
And the Rams are making a comeback. I saw a little of their game last week against Miami. Miami looked awfully good, and the Rams really didn't look good at all.
Ferragamo had a long afternoon. Of course, the Rams aware that Atlanta's winning, so they hope to stay within a game. As they're going to let this clock run down to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left in this contest as Dick Vermeil to win his first game ever here in RFK Stadium. It's his team with a 24-0 lead.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special. The beer.
Building inspector.
Hey, what are you guys doing here?
I didn't believe you two could build your own house.
Yeah, well, don't look.
It's not finished. Well, I guess we'll just take our loan, Brown, and go home. Well, maybe one quick look around.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrau.
What are you going to do when you finish this place? Just what I'm doing right now.
It was Mercedes-Benz that produced the world's first production diesel car, the first 5-cylinder diesel car, this 200-mile-per-hour diesel car, the first turbocharged diesel car, and the world's only 3,000-mile-per-gallon diesel vehicle. For 1981, only Mercedes-Benz can apply all that expertise to these diesel cars. Mercedes-Benz, the pioneer in diesels for 45 years.
Joe Pisarcik coming back onto the field. He'd thrown only 16 passes prior to today, completing his first one here. I want to thank our spotter Jason Strinsky and our statistician Joe Band for their work today. As Philadelphia against Oakland next week, the Eagles will be 10-1. This would be the first time that they have swept Washington since 1975. And this is one of the goals. There's one more goal that Dick Vermeil has. And that, as you might suspect, is to win the division. He has accomplished 2 of the 3 thus far. Here's Billy Campfield going nowhere. the 30-yard line. It'll bring up third down. Still about 4 yards to go. The first goal the Eagles had was to beat Dallas in Philadelphia. They did that, of course, and then the other one was to win here. Look at this. Pittsburgh. Boy, they're hanging on. As we said, they just can't afford to lose another ball game.
Well, it looks like they've had some field goals in that fourth quarter.
Well, let's see. As you ask, we have there's our executive producer, Charles Milton III. Our producer, David Fox. Our director, Chris Erskine. And our associate producer, Ernie Bauer. Engineer in charge, the EIC, Stan Mitchell. At the 24, it'll be a first down for Philadelphia. Started to say Philadelphia will meet Oakland, San Diego, return home to play Atlanta. Boy, they're not home yet, are they?
No, they aren't, but they have a pretty nice cushion now. You know, it's never over until the end, but it's kind of comfortable until you get there.
It's never over until it's over, right?
Never over until it's over.
On a first down, Hogan. One of your favorite expressions, I know, and one you just love to hear and use so often in your coaching career, is that the hay is in the barn.
The hay is never in the barn. There's always something you can do. What signal do you think that is?
It looked like he wanted to just wishfully get this game over with.
That signal was just run the ball, keep the mustard off the football.
Boy, you just keep after it, don't you? No wonder your players used to kind of duck out of the way when you were coming out. They ignored you, didn't they? In the locker room, they tried to stay away from you, hide from you.
Yeah, they did that, and I would stay away from them, too. I was too excited. Anything I say, I'd just foul them up.
20 seconds left in this one. Sarchik off to Campfield. Gets a block from Ron Baker to the 15. Boy, did Ron Baker throw a booming block on that play. That's the guy that Dick Vermeil really likes. They got him for the Baltimore Colts for an 8th-round draft pick. The clock is going to expire, and this football game is over. The Philadelphia Eagles have won 7 in a row. They continue to have the best record in the National Football League. They're 10-1. As Dick Vermeil has captured his first victory ever in RFK Stadium, Jack Pardee team now has to regroup again. They're 3-8.
Dick is giving a little signal there. That's to his wife in the stands, and I'll tell you, they are an outstanding team. You know, they do it all. Offense, defense, and special teams, and we saw it all today.
What's being said about aluminum these days?
Aluminum is easy to recycle. That's not going to pay such good money for used cans. Real good money.
Almost 100% of all the electricity that travels across this country of ours is carried by aluminum.
The more aluminum we can put into our cars, the more weight we can get out of our cars. And that means more MPGs.
We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
Palmer, quarterback's got a better arm.
Right on. Better than a pitcher? Namath, you've been out of the game too long.
That's enough talk, fellas. Let's let Flash decide.
Flash?
Yeah.
Flash is an electronic game for all-around competitors.
Watch this.
Yeah.
Flash tests your timing, reflexes, memory, and accuracy because Flash is programmed for 5 challenging games. Flash keeps score for up to 5 players, and super shots mean super bonus points. Flash with 5 electronic games.
It's a great game. From Ideal.
Used to be when I had a job to do around the house, it was one-on-one. Me against the house. And since the house was much bigger, I usually lost. Well, I've just changed all that with my new Black & Decker Workmate. It'll hold just about anything I want to work on, from a door to a pipe to a 200-pound dresser. In fact, my Workmate is so good at helping me work, I'm giving it Sunday off.
Workmate's available from about $45.
What's that? Oh.
Well, we had a final here, 24-0. The Eagles winning their 10th game of the year against one setback, and we can check some other scores. The Giants trying to win their second in a row with 3 minutes left in that game. The Packers scored on an 8-yard touchdown pass from Lynn Dickey to James Lofton. This is kind of day where there have been some surprises, as it seems to be every weekend. Here was a game, 17-14. The Rams Boy, that's a big game because Atlanta was winning today. Corral kicked a 29-yard field goal. Elvis Peacock with a 1-yard touchdown run as the Rams came from behind in that football game.
Right, and the Patriots, I'm sure, realized that the Bills won today.
And now we mentioned Atlanta, 31-13. That is the final. And in that ball game, Steve Bartkowski threw 3 touchdown passes, one of 47, 5, and 10 yards. And he also ran for a touchdown. So he had quite an afternoon as far as Atlanta was concerned.
You talk about draft choices that can really help a team. Junior Miller has done an outstanding job on making the Atlanta Falcons what they are.
Well, Detroit won their first 4 games of the year, John, but they are having their problems now. They are beaten again today by the Baltimore Colts. That's 4 of their last 5 that they've lost. Eddie Murray kicked 2 field goals in the 4th quarter, but they still fell a point short.
I always say that offensive line is so important. When you lose any part of that group, it can really hurt you, and that's what's happening to the Detroit Lions.
Our final now, Buffalo defeating Cincinnati 14-0. Ferguson to Jerry Butler, 16-yard touchdown pass, and Roland Hooks ran for 5 yards and a touchdown. So Buffalo picking up another big win here today. And with New England having their problems, Buffalo's right back in the hunt in the AFC East.
A real surprise team in the league, those Buffalo Bills.
They started out very well, then ran into some difficulty, but they seemingly have regrouped. I think one of the amazing stories today involves the defending Super Bowl champions, the Pittsburgh Steelers. We told you a while ago they were able to win that ball game with 11 seconds left as Terry Bradshaw hit Lynn Swann with a 3-yard touchdown pass to defeat the Cleveland Browns 16-13. And that is averting what could have been the finish of a year for them.
Right, and the Steelers know how to do that, though. Terry Bradshaw to Lynn Swann, they've had an awful lot of experience.
Welcome to the future. Brought to you by Fidelity Electronics.
I am Fidelity Chess Challenger, your computer opponent. Enter your move.
Now, from the future, a new voice sensory chess challenger. A talented opponent that senses your every move, then illuminates and announces its counter move.
Knight, Bait, Queen.
At fine stores everywhere. At Fidelity, our most important product is the future.
Give your family a great holiday. Give them all a holiday to remember. For that special time of the year. Beneficial's the place when you want more money.
Daddy, look!
Make this holiday extra special with extra cash from Beneficial. We want to lend you the full amount you have in mind.
It's one time of year you just can't cut corners.
At Beneficial, you're good for more.
At JCPenney Auto Centers, we won't steer you wrong. We will steer you to the amazing JCPenney Mileage Maker XP All-Season Steel-Belted Radial for great traction in rain, snow, slush. In any road conditions, you need the Mileage Maker XP with the unique interlock block tread. Season in, season out. The only tire you need. Only at JCPenney.
JCPenney Auto Centers. We won't steer you wrong.
Well, last year, for the entire season, Philadelphia won 11 games. They already have 10 with 5 games left in the regular season.
Yeah, they really have it going this year. And again, we said before the game, I think the biggest improvement is that defense. You know, they're really playing as one of the best defenses in the National Football League. And when you put it all together, we know that they have the offense. They know that. But when you add that defense and then the special teams, they're a total team. And I really don't know what else they have to do or what else they could do other than what we've seen today.
They sweep this series for the first time since 1975. Dick Vermeil realizing his second goal of 3 that he set this year for Philadelphia. And that last goal is to win the division because they have been the wild card entry the last 2 years.
Right, but what happens after you get all your goals done? I think he has those 3, but then it better be a playoff game, a championship game, and then maybe getting that Super Bowl.
I think you got your point across. Okay. John, I enjoyed it. The final score here in favor of the Philadelphia Eagles over the Washington Redskins. They won it 24-0. They are 10-1. Washington now is 3-8. The NFL on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world. Lowenbrau, when it's time for the taste of a truly great beer, let it be Lowenbrau. And by the Continental Insurance Companies, whose over 4 million satisfied policyholders do the Continental. The NFL on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports. This is CBS.
This catch. Is he a brilliant wide receiver? Now you're watching the Eagles as the Giants had already weighed in with their 27-21 victory, and Ron Jaworski just beat up on the Skins early.
Keith Kepley first, and then the Spagnuolo in the second touchdown pass. Here's the Redskins trying to get some offense going. Hit, and Jerry Robinson, the linebacker from the backside from UCLA, picks up the ball and sprints all the way into the end zone for a score. You know, Jerry was a wide receiver in college, right? In high school.
Made like it right there, Irv. I'll tell you that, the former UCLA star. Archie Manning started strong against Atlanta. Touchdown.
He's had some difficulties, Brent, because his offensive line's been battered.
Bartkowski came right back, wanted Alfred Jackson.
Bartkowski threw 3 touchdown passes today, setting an all-time record for the Atlanta Falcons with 20 TDs in a season.
Here he is going to the big running back, William Andrews, down to the New Orleans 1-yard line.
I like this guy, number 31. He's a gutsy kind of a ball carrier. Doesn't have a lot of speed, but great quickness and power. And watch him just drive his way in there. He's got tremendous determination down to the 1. Bartkowski went over from there on the quarterback sneak.
And then he hit Wallace Francis for this score from the 5.
Pretty good concentration here. Francis working for position, makes his catch.
And here's Junior Miller, number 80.
Boy, as he come into his own, the rookie out of Nebraska, number 1 choice, looks great.
Now the St. Louis Cardinals. O.J. Anderson bolts for a 7 score as it was a 51-yard run, and then Hart came back to Mel Gray.
How many times have you seen this combination? Hart to Mel Gray. The speedster just simply riddles the Cowboys secondary every time he plays against them. There he goes in for his first score of the day.
Watch this diving catch by Preston Pearson.
Tremendous concentration. He's done this so many times. He's a basketball player in college. He's pretty good. That's great hands.
Then it was Hart again to Pat Tilley for 60 yards.
It's kind of funny. Tilley doesn't have great speed, but he always seems to get behind everybody. 60-yard TD catch.
Then it was Danny White looking for Tony Hill. These two teams going up and down the field.
You know, Brent, Tony Hill would call this the thrill of Tony Hill.
And Dallas leading 24-21. You're now watching the Minnesota Vikings. Kramer over the middle to Sammy White for the score. And here's Doug Williams to Kevin House, the rookie who's come alive.
A lot of new names around the league popping up, particularly wide receiver. And Kevin House had a pretty good day today.
Doug Williams long here to House for the touchdown, but again the Buccaneers trail it. 31-20 is the score in that game. Now again, Dallas leading St. Louis 24-21. I hope it didn't mislead anyone. The Giants beat the Packers 27-21 was the final score of that game. And so that wraps up our coverage here on the NFL Today on CBS. We hope you've enjoyed it. And on behalf of all of us at CBS Sports, have a nice week. We'll see you again next Sunday.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world. Lowenbrau, when it's time for the taste of a truly great beer, let it be Lowenbrau. And by the Continental Insurance Companies, whose over 4 million satisfied policyholders do the Continental. The NFL on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports. The Russians are ready. Are we? Find out when 60 Minutes takes a chilling look at chemical warfare. Also a story called The Kid, the Cop, and the Knife. Tonight on CBS.
All right, Vinny, and across the beautiful Hudson River, we've got some dynamite plays coming up on the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns as we show you the final score with the Rams beating the Patriots 17-14. All finals in now. Atlanta 31, New Orleans 13. Bartkowski throws 3 touchdown passes, 47, 5, and 10 yards. The Giants 27, the Packers 21, so the Giants win for the 2nd time in a row and the 3rd time overall. Wait till you see the action from this game. 16-13, the last possible play of the game for the Steelers. They pull it out. Now, as George Allen pointed out, Detroit is in reverse indeed, but Eddie Murray missed a field goal with 30 seconds left from 44 yards out that would have pulled it out. Buffalo shuts out Cincinnati, and the Bills and Chuck Knox climb atop the AFC Eastern Division. Philadelphia shuts out Washington. Jack Pardee in trouble with the Redskins. Eagles on a roll. Best team in the NFL right now. And the St. Louis Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys in a dandy. One long TD after another. It is now 24-21. The Cowboys leading. That is in the 3rd period. Minnesota 31, Tampa Bay 20, leading by 11. The Vikes have scored 104 points now in their last 3 games. The New York Jets 7, Denver 3. Denver had a field goal by Steinfort from 31 yards out. Earl Campbell and Walter Payton, how they doing? Well, they're scoreless right now, but the Bears are on the move. San Diego and Kansas City are scoreless. That's in the 1st, and Miami leads San Francisco on an Uwe von Schamann field goal, and it is now 3-0. Okay, Steelers and the Browns. A promise to that action, and here it is. Terry Bradshaw to Jim Smith, 10 yards and a score.
Great clutch play. Now, of course, Sipe comes right back. He's had a tremendous year throwing the ball this season. Goes deep.
That was Reggie Rucker with that one-handed grab. And then it was Sipe to Ozzie Newsome. And the Browns were in business. And it was Sipe to Dave Logan. And it looked like they might hold on. The Steelers were out of timeouts. Only 11 seconds to go. Their last possible play. And somehow Lynn Swann worked free. And that's why the Pittsburgh Steelers are world champions. And tonight, they are still alive. And the NFL today continues with a lot more highlights on CBS in just a moment.
Welcome to the future. Brought to you by Fidelity Electronics.
I am Fidelity Chess Challenger, your computer opponent. Enter your move.
Now, from the future, a new voice sensory chess challenger. A talented opponent that senses your every move, then illuminates and announces its counter move.
Knight takes queen.
At fine stores everywhere. At Fidelity, our most important product is the future.
Give your family a great holiday. Give them all a holiday to remember. For that special time of the year. Beneficial's the place when you want more money.
Daddy, look!
Make this holiday extra special with extra cash from Beneficial. We want to lend you the full amount you have in mind.
It's one time of year you just can't cut corners.
At Beneficial, you're good for more.
At JCPenney Auto Centers, we won't steer you wrong. We will steer you to the amazing JCPenney Mileage Maker XP All-Season Steel-Belted Radio for great traction in rain, snow, slush. In any road conditions, you need the Mileage Maker XP with the unique interlock block tread. Season in, season out. The only tire you need. Only at JCPenney.
JCPenney Auto Centers. We won't steer you wrong.
Tough game to figure, isn't it? Los Angeles plays horribly against Miami at home. New England in a wild shootout just loses to Houston. Then today, Vince Ferragamo and the Rams broke on top with this TD pass to Victor Hicks. But Steve Grogan and the Patriots came right back. Don Hasselback here for 35 yards.
Now, everybody talks about Russ France as a tight end. He's a great one, but Hasselback is an excellent backup tight end.
What about this linebacker, Steve Nelson?
Does a good job. You know, when you run a 3-man line, you have 4 linebackers back there who do a good job covering the intermediate to short passes. Nelson picks that one off for the Pats.
This is the big play, and it's a flea flicker.
You know, Ferragamo threw the ball 26 times today, completed 14 for 170 yards, 1 touchdown. That play got him inside the 5-yard line.
Former Oklahoma star, full house. Here it comes. Elvis Peacock storming in, and the Rams win it. Oh, here's the big fella, Phil Simms to Ernest Gray.
It was a fun day for the Giants today. Simms 33 passes, 17 completions, 322 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
And here he is under pressure this time, and the loose ball will be recovered by Eddie O'Neill of the Packers. And a losing player with a big afternoon was Jerry Ellis.
Got to like this guy's heart. Number 31 carries the same number Jim Taylor wore at Green Bay. Powers his way into the end zone.
Tittle, Schaffner, touchdown, Giants.
Used to be that way in the old days.
I guess it should be Sims, Gray, touchdown, Giants. All right, here's Dickey now to Jerry Ellis.
You know, Dickey had a good day. Threw the ball 36 times, completed 20 passes, 322 yards, 2 touchdowns.
And none better than that grab by Lofton.
Beautiful.
Oh, see a beauty. Oh, here's your Ron Jaworski. Anybody going to be able to beat this team, Earl?
Don't think so. The Eagles don't think so either. Keith Crafty goes in for the first touchdown right there. Jaworski goes with his backup tight end, Spagnola, the touchdown pass number 2.
Now, a fine young linebacker and an interesting story. The Eagles almost passed him up on that first round a year ago when they were looking for a little kicking help. But he stayed available, and Jerry Robinson paid a huge dividend today with that long touchdown run. Watch Archie Manning go to West Chandler.
Of course, Manning's had problems this year because his offensive line's been beat up, but he has great touch, and of course Chandler go ahead and cradles that first one in.
Boy, has Bartkowski arrived. Alfred Jackson for 47 yards.
You know, he threw for 3 touchdowns today. It set a Falcon record for touchdown passes in the season to 20.
Hey, how about this big back here, William Anders? You like him?
I really like him. He's a gutsy kind of a guy. Doesn't have a lot of speed, but tremendous determination and leg drive. Now watch how he powers his way upfield down to the 1-yard line.
How about these quarterbacks that take the easy ones?
That's a quarterback sneak inside the 1. They always do it.
Wallace Francis works free. Bartkowski's not finished carving up the Saints.
Great concentration.
And here's that tight end that Irv touted before the season ever began out of Nebraska, Junior Miller for the Falcons. He's got it, and they roll. They lead the Rams by a game. Now watch, Jay Anderson for 51 yards.
Boy, you got to like this. This is the first offensive play for the Cardinals today. He goes the route. Great run.
And it was Hart to Mel Gray the second time they had the ball.
Every time the Cardinals play the Cowboys, Mel Gray comes up with at least one big play. He's just a real nightmare for Dallas secondary. He goes in for his first touchdown pass today.
Watch this catch by Preston Pearson. Cowboys were in trouble when they came away with 6.
How many times has he done that, eh?
And Pat Tilley, here's this guy again. He just kind of snakes free. This one's for 60 yards.
Now, everybody says this guy can't get deep, but every week we see him get deep on somebody. Not much speed, but great concentration. Nice play.
Now, watch this catch by Hill. Actually, it's a pretty pass, isn't it?
But Tony Hill would call this the thrill of Tony Hill.
And how about Drew Pearson for 15 yards, huh? Let's put that one up. And the Cardinals, just seconds ago, missed the field goal that would have tied it. So the Cowboys still lead by 3. That's Sammy White getting right in there for the Vikes. They've had a big explosion. Let me show you now Doug Williams. Kevin House, the rookie from Southern Illinois, he's really come alive. Hit him one more time, Dougie.
You know, a lot of youngsters are emerging this year, particularly at wide receiver. House does a job here.
In for the touchdown. How about one more look at the scoreboard, okay? Miami on that Von Schaman field goal ahead of San Francisco by 3. San Diego scored yet today? Nope. Dan Fouts still struggling with that offense. How about Walter? Nope. And Earl, they're still scoreless in the first. That won't last. And the Jets, meanwhile, lead Denver 7-3. That's in the first. In the third, Minnesota 31, Tampa Bay 23. The Vikes would be tied with the Lions if they hold on and win that game in the NFC Central. And the Dallas Cowboys clinging to that 3-point lead. And now the rest of our scores are all finals, as the Philadelphia Eagles win for the first time under Coach Vermeil in Washington, and handily. Buffalo climbs atop the AFC's Eastern Division. Baltimore hangs tough, and Detroit's skid continues. And Pittsburgh lives to fight again, coming back, as the Giants win for the second time in a row over the Packers, and Atlanta storms toward an NFC Western Division title, and the Los Angeles Rams stay a game behind the Falcons. So for all of us here at CBS Sports, we hope you've enjoyed this Sunday. We want to wish you all a good week, and we'll see you next Sunday. So long, everybody.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world. Lowenbrow, when it's time for the taste of a truly great beer, let it be Lowenbrow. And by the Continental Insurance Companies, who've over 4 million satisfied policyholders due the Continental. The NFL on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports. The Russians are ready. Are we? Find out when 60 Minutes takes a chilling look at chemical warfare. Also a story called The Kid, the Cop, and the Knife. Tonight on CBS.